New for you this morning on Daybreak, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. According to the organization Violence Free Minnesota, in 2021, more than 20 people died from intimate partner violence and at least 6 bystanders or interveners died. KIMT News 3's Alex Dieter shares how one Rochester organization provides resources for survivors and their families across southeastern Minnesota.
The Rochester Women's Shelter and Support Center serves around 4,000 people a year and has housed more than 500 people. The shelter's director of development, Barb Schramm, says the majority of people call the shelter for information on what to do and what resources are available.
So they may need help just understanding what are the next steps for me. And so an advocate will sit down with that person and identify, okay, let's talk about safety first. Are you safe? What can we do to get you safe?
She says over the years, there have been some laws put in place and a better understanding of domestic violence from law enforcement, attorneys, and judges, but more still needs to be done.
Having been in the field since the early 90s, I thought that by now we'd have a better handle on domestic violence and be able to, just hold it down a little bit more and make it more unacceptable. But it seems like we kind of go like this, where there's times that we're really vocal about it, and then it's unacceptable, and then it kind of gets forgotten about.
This is the only shelter for victims of domestic violence within the 10 counties that represent southeastern Minnesota. The shelter also has smaller offices in Dodge and Fillmore counties as well, with advocacy services.
But we do have people coming here from all over the state, all over the country sometimes, and even sometimes all over the world, because especially being in Rochester, with the Mayo Clinic and things like that, we do have a pretty international population that comes here. And
the women's shelter offers services like transitional housing, advocates that help with safety planning, housing options, transportation, and criminal and civil court.
It takes a lot of courage to make that call. And if you think something is wrong, you're probably right.
Schramm says not a day goes by where they don't get a phone call from someone asking if they can help. In Rochester, Alex Dieter, KIMT News 3.
The shelter accepts financial donations and tangible donations. For the tangible donations, people who want to donate will be put on a list and then will be contacted when the shelter has specific needs for survivors or their families. To talk with an advocate, you can call the number on your screen here to reach the Women's Shelter and Support Center's 24-hour crisis line.